Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving into one of the biggest questions we can ask ourselves, and we're looking to a very ancient text for an answer that feels more relevant than ever.
Seriously, just take a second to think about that. Your body is always changing. Your thoughts, they evolve. Your job, your relationships, even your own memories, they all shift and change over time. But is there some part of you, a core of you, that stays constant through all of that?
You know, this search for an unchanging self, it's not new at all. It's a universal human quest. We're all trying to find something beyond our bodies, our thoughts, or what we've accomplished. We're looking for that solid, permanent foundation of our being.
And for our guide in this explainer, we're going to turn to a really foundational text in Hindu philosophy, the Bhagavad Gita. And wow, does it have a powerful answer. It's an idea that's resonated with people for thousands of years. Okay, let's dive in.
We're going to zoom in on one specific, really powerful verse. You can think of it like a key that unlocks a whole new way of understanding who, or maybe what, we really are.
Just listen to the power in that. Even if you don't know the language, you can kind of feel the certainty, right? It's this poetic, profound declaration that the true self is completely immune to the forces of the physical world. So, what does that actually mean? The verse uses 4 of the most powerful, destructive forces in nature to make its point. We're going to break down each one to see how it builds this incredible case for a self that's literally indestructible.
First, it starts with weapons cannot cut it. Now, in our world, pretty much anything can be cut, right? It can be divided into smaller pieces. But the Gita is telling us that the true self isn't a physical thing at all. You can't chop it up or harm it with some instrument because it's already, by its very nature, complete and whole.
Next up, fire cannot burn it. Fire, as we know, transforms and destroys pretty much everything it touches. It completely alters its nature. So the implication here is huge. If the self can't be burned, it can't be made of anything from our physical world. It's just totally impervious to heat or destruction.
Then we have water cannot wet it. Think about water. It erodes, it dissolves, it soaks into things. So this idea that the self can't be wet suggests it's impenetrable. It can't be diluted or changed by some force from the outside. It points to this inherent purity and stability.
And finally, wind cannot dry it. Wind can wither things, diminish them, cause them to evaporate, but the self can't be dried out. This means it can never be weakened or reduced in any way. It's just eternally vibrant. So when you put them all together, uncuttable, unburnable, unwettable, and undryable, they paint this incredibly clear picture of something that exists entirely beyond our physical reality. So, after using all these powerful metaphors to explain what the self isn't, the Gita finally gives us a name for what it is. This indestructible, eternal core of our being is called the Atman. It's not your body, it's not your thoughts, and it's not your emotions. It's the pure consciousness, the witness that exists beyond all of that. So, here's the absolute crucial point. The Atman, our true self, is fundamentally different from everything we usually identify with. It's separate from the body. It is eternal and unchanging. It's beyond all physical harm. It doesn't even play by the laws of physics. It is the absolute permanent center of who we are. Now, this is a fascinating concept for sure, but it brings up a really big question. So what? I mean, how does knowing about this Atman actually help us navigate our lives in the real world today? Well, really embracing this idea can fundamentally change your entire experience. It can reduce the fear of death, because if your true essence doesn't die, what's really there to fear? It lets you detach from temporary suffering by realizing that suffering affects the body and mind, but not your core. This can shift your focus to a deeper purpose, something beyond just material things. And ultimately, when you recognize the same eternal self in everyone, it helps you build a profound sense of compassion and connection. So I'll leave you with a question to reflect on. If the core of who you are is truly eternal and indestructible, then what are you actually afraid of? Thanks for joining this explainer.